not just in words.
Professor Ishakoloyede, they're in tears. That video got a lot of people talking. In 2025, we also saw the Minister of Education saying, you know, math is not compulsory for some courses, but then there was a U-turn. We saw WAEC students taking the WAEC, writing some of them examinations at night. All in all, Mr. Fatade, education in 2025, your opinion, your perspective on it.
I think, and I apologize if I get a bit emotional about this, because my son was involved in that. And I was outside the country that time. So, but mercifully, my wife was able to manage the aftermath. And I thank her for that, even though I've said that. But I'm saying that publicly. Excuse me. And I'm remiss that Professor Oloyede is actually in the job as at now. Because if you apologize and you are taking full responsibility, what has happened? Has anybody been sanctioned for that? And by the way, I don't know how Nigerians think. When that thing happened, some of us kept on shouting. And even the Minister of Education himself, Dr. Alaus, said that it's the candidates that did not do well. And the minister tomorrow did not apologize for that, thereby stigmatizing a bunch of young people who have done very well. And I think it's a shame. And I say that again. But because we have raised the bar so low, or we have reduced the bar so low in Nigeria, that's why a mere apology and shedding of crocodile tears, that's how I'll put it. We think that suffices for lives that have been affected. And apparently, and I hope we have not forgotten, a candidate committed suicide because of this. This is more than a gaffe. I mean, I remember in my son's school, the parents actually had to come together. Remember again, they were preparing for school start, or they were already writing their WAEC exams, the SSC exams, when these results were announced. Now I can say this publicly. The first time that result was released, my son said his score, the score JAMB gave my son was 164. And if I do not know anything, they said my son scored 41 in March. I told him that's a lie from the pit of hell. That could not be his result. And by the time the exam was, he was one of those who was asked to sit down again, to sit for the exam again. He got 362 and he scored 94 in March. Until tomorrow, my son will insist that he should have scored 380 based on what he was doing. And by the way, without mentioning the name of the school, 88 candidates were presented for UTME the first time in my son's school. By the time they were asked to redo it again, I got the record there. 60 of them scored 300 and above out of 88. And the least in that school was 270. And by the way, I hope you remember, they did it differently. Different subjects, different combination in different centers. Only God knows what happened. Until tomorrow, I believe the UTME result of this year or last year was not a reflection of the candidate's ability. And these are results that people take outside Nigeria. The SSC exam you mentioned too. Imagine schools that did not have power. That there is no electricity. They wrote that English exam at 10 p.m. In my son's school, it was around 9 p.m. Thank goodness, thank God they had power. So this is how we are trifling, or this is how we play kite, to use that popular expression in Nigeria with young people's lives. Until today, nobody has been sanctioned, nobody has been queried, there has been no investigation. The National Assembly or the Senate, they did what happened to that report? Nobody has been prosecuted, nobody has been forced to quit or resign because of this. Now tell us, it shows how we run and ruin the lives of young people. That's how sad it is.
Oh, Mr. Fatade, a very emotional walk down.
Oh, and there is one thing, excuse me, Bukola, we should stop deifying public officials. It is deification of Professor Oloyede that people think he should not be criticized, people think he's above mistakes, people think he's above errors. Now, he's a matter of supporters or well-wishers, particularly our colleagues in the media, is been thrown back in their faces now. Thank you.